everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maticus Valentine Cole, and happy Monday. Alright guys, for those of you who have asked, yeah, I'm feeling a lot better. I'm at the point now where I'm over the sickness part. I had a little bit of a cold, a little bit of a flu, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of But now I'm just at the point where I'm just blah, 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 just coughing up shit until I'm done. Alright, so now that we've gotten that tasty little nugget of treat of information out the way, let's get to it. Alright guys, today's topic came by request by my friend Kelly from Tumblr, who said, Matt, what are the pros and cons of swearing? Okay. This is gonna be fun. Okay, when it comes to swearing, I'm kind of glad this topic came up because it's being a wordsmith. I am of the opinion that every word has value. You know, whether or not that value is something ethereal and in the celestial or low-hanging fruit. There's a time and a place for everything, which includes swearing. But when we talk about people who are more conservative, there's no time and there's no place and there's no reason to ever swear, which is why it's called swearing. But before we get too far into it, let's go with the sources. Let's find out the what the literary people have to say about the subject of swearing. Okay, first and foremost, dictionary.com defines swearing as the use of offensive language. Duh. Yeah, I think pretty much we all, yes, we understand that. Again, with dictionary.com, tried, trusty, and true, cut and dry. Alright, now let's go to the flip side of it. Urbandictionary.com. It says to curse or cuss. I live in the South, so cuss is, yeah. Swears are considered inappropriate to use in public places, but are less offensive than other profanities. These bad words are often referred to by children as HE double hockey stick, and this is referencing hell and damn. And if I didn't say this in the beginning, this video has a parental advisory because of talking about swearing and not actually swearing. It's kind of goofy. The true profanities are considered more common. A true profanity, according to urbandictionary.com, is the S word, the F word, the B word, the word that rhymes with sick, the other word that rhymes with wussy, and others. Yeah. And let's go with the third, the Maticus Dictionary. And I define swearing as the use of bad or lazy words. And well, the first thing to cover is, I think, if these words are so bad, horrible, why use them? Okay, well, first and foremost, it's to shock. Like the reason why painters use neon and otherwise abstract background is to make a pow, make a statement, and it's usually to shock, or to make a point with shock as opposed to a reasoned argument, which is why I think swearing is lazy. I mean, think about it. How many times have you been in a situation at a bar or a public place, a place in mixed company where an argument was exchanged or words were tossed around, and especially when someone is in an argument over a logical point, and all of a sudden the person's stuck. They reach the end of where logic has led them, and they're looking at you like a deer in the headlights, like mad because they don't want to back off. Their pride is fully taken over, and before anyone knows it, and yes, and what do you have to say to that, Sir Bartholomew? Bartholomew's screwed. Fuck you! And the fight is on. In my entire life, the words F you have preceded nearly every physical altercation that has come after it. And yeah, that's because words have failed them. And then they let their fists do the talking, which, in my opinion, fisticuffs is the most vulgar language we use. But that's just me. No offense to the UFC fighters. Love watching you sprawl and brawl. It's awesome. All right. But also, I did some research in looking to cover this topic, and I was stunned. In 2016, it was noted that an average of 0.5 to 0.7 of all words that a person speaks are swear words. 80% of swearing is accounted by 10 words. Brace yourself. Those 10 words are fuck, shit, damn, goddamn, Jesus Christ, ass, oh my god, bitch, and sucks. Yep. Sucks is a swear word. You're like, what? I'm like, yeah, it is. It's considered a swear word. And you couldn't say sucks before 1983 in my house without getting your mouth washed out with soap. And now sucks is just like nothing. He sucks in church now. Do you, though? Do you? You know? And it's considered crass. And to give you an kind of a perspective, my grandpa, not the Florida swamp rat, the other one, he was a contract lawyer for NASA, and he used to tell me that people who swear only do so because they have a poor command of the English language, which is a fair statement, since most people I know usually swear literally when they've run out of things to say. You know, I've been guilty of that. I mean, there's times whenever I'm doing a video or just talking to my friends and stuff, and I swear to God, a 10-minute conversation would have been a 3-minute conversation if every other word out of my mouth wasn't something that a sailor uttered after his 9th beer. You know, it happens. And, but then the next question is, how is it degenerated into, or how has our language devolved where swearing was once something shocking to something now very commonplace? Well, since most of us take our cues from entertainment, you know, they tend to emulate, they quote lines from movies, or they learn how to speak and speak in references from music that they listen to. Well, and as a performance artist, I know for a fact that I know many poets and local hip-hop artists and musicians who use profanity to make a point or to make a cultural point, and which agree with it, don't agree with it. I think there's better ways, but then again, I'm not them, and they're free to express themselves however they wish. But I kind of wondered, though, how much swearing is in our entertainment culture. You know, what's the one form of entertainment that we all engage in daily, even hourly? Well, easily that would be music. And so I did more research, and what I found was, you know, most comedians and musicians have used profanity in their art for more than, 50 years. I mean, people have been swearing in. The first time I ever heard a full-blown swear-a-thon was Eddie Murphy's Delirious in the 80s. Then I came across Bobcat Goldthwait, George Carlin, Sam Kinison, Rodney Dangerfield, and then of course you had others like Bernie Mac and all the kings of comedy and like that. And it was a swear-a-thon. But before about 1960, it was extremely rare. But I actually found a site that actually details which genre of music is the most profane. think you'll be shocked. I was a little shocked at some of it, but we'll see what you think. Okay. So, from least to worst, here are the music genres who use the most profanity. It was extremely interesting. Number 8, country. I love my little red wagon, flicking cans up a pretty hill. Yeah, I don't listen to too much country. Yeah. But they swear one profanity for every 4,438 words. That's pretty rare. Number 7 was folk music. Who listens to folk music? No offense to those of you who do, but I've never gotten into it. But they swear more than country do. And man, that was horrible grammar. Oh, sorry. Folk music is one profanity for every 2,925 words. It's kind of a jump from 4,000 to 2,000. I guess they're swearing a lot more because no one really listens to folk. Next, number 6, rock music, which is one profanity for every 1,043, which... another huge jump. That's 4 times less than country, or 4 times more than country, twice as much as folk, and that's insane. Indie rock is one profanity for every 1,037. Not too different, just about a 30 word difference between rock and indie rock. Pop, on the other hand, is number 4 at one profanity for every 904 words. Thank you, Justin Bieber. And then we're followed very closely to number 3, which is electronic music. Not all the machines were making all the music. How do they have time to swear? And then we have number 2, metal. Goddamn motherfucker. Metal. One profanity for every 352 words. And a lot of you, I'm probably sure, are going, really? That often? Because I know when you got the speed and they're shredding that guitar and they're screaming, they could be swearing and you would have no idea. Okay, and so that one actually kind of surprised me. I thought it would be further down the list. But that leaves us with number 1. Hip hop. My beloved hip hop. Metal, alternative, and hip hop are my 3 favorite genres of music. And hip hop, shockingly, has one profanity for every 47 words. Country music is my least favorite kind of music. No offense to those who love it. It just doesn't flow with me. Maybe if they swore more, it would. I don't know. But to go from number 8, who has one profanity for every 4,438 words, to hip-hop lyricists who have one profanity for every 47 words. And I thought that couldn't be right. There's no way. I mean, yeah, you hear a ton of it in hip-hop, but 47? And I've dug a little deeper. Now, with hip-hop, though, there's one caveat, which means addendum. Was that assholeish? I'm sorry. Anyway, that the list that is most prolific in hip-hop that is considered swearing is also the N-word. Rhymes with bigger. If they took that out, they would still be around 201 profanity for every 258 words. Still a lot. But the reason why I dropped to 47 is because they use the N-word in their lyrics pervasively. And so, whenever I look at when I look at those statistics, and since we all know how absolutely ingratiated music is in our lives, whether we're writing down the lyrics and memorizing them or just casually letting them flow into our head, it is no reason and no wonder why we swear every other word. Now, people ask me, Matt, is it a big deal that I swear? Everybody does it. And I'll say this. Like I said in the very beginning, there's a time and a place for it. The only times I ever swear in my poetry is when I am looking to drive an incredibly potent point home. But I'll say it once. I never swear more than once in any piece, and it's like 1 out of every 20 poems that I actually swear, because I don't need to swear in order to say what I want to say. Most poets don't need to swear in order to say what they want to say. That's the one saving grace between poets and other verse-based arts, which is, in order to entertain, we don't have to be foul, we don't have to be crass, we don't have to be low class or low key, we don't have to go for the low-hanging fruit. We're able to dig deep and take the time to find what we want to say and how we want to say it and create an art. Is that to say that hip-hop that has a ton of swearing isn't art? Not at all. That's how those artists chose to express themselves and their art. But I also wonder if any of them took the challenge to write their next song and not use any of that common language. No F-bombs, no S-bombs, no B-bombs, no N-bombs. What would they create? What would they write? Would it be as good? Would it have as much substance? Would it have as much kick? Would it have as much punch? Would it have the kind of impact that their other music does? I don't know. I wonder. And I also wonder what you guys think about it. Ultimately, in the end, we live in a country where we have freedom of speech. And even though most people who are hyper-religious choose not to swear, I could live my entire life without swearing. It's possible. It would not be nearly as funny in time. But after seeing all this research, it makes me wonder how much violence could be avoided if we didn't swear at people we had disagreements with. How many times would reason, logic, and true feelings save a relationship or a friendship or a casual acquaintance because you chose a better way to express yourself, a cleaner way, perhaps a more dignified way, a more prideful way? How much more respect would you gain in your communities if the language that you used was more positive and more uplifting? You can never uplift by bringing down. That's physics. It's impossible. You can never bring something up by bringing something down. And yeah, I know you're talking about, well, if I drop a rock on one end of the seesaw, and whoever's sitting on the other says, oh, they're going up, so I dropped something and something went up. Yeah, but if the point you're trying to make is the rock, will the rock go up by dropping it? No. So you can't bring anybody up by bringing them down. And so, guys, do what you want, say whatever you want, and be however you choose. But think about this, because I think it's interesting, and I think it's kind of true. I mean, there are times when I've done pieces and I thought, man, I shouldn't have sworn that. It was lazy. I have. And I've taken down pieces that I've written because I wanted to rewrite it and redo it in a way that was a little bit more classy and beautiful. But very few beautiful things come from the dirt unless they're flowers. And until a daisy shoots out your mouth, I think we need to plant better seeds. Okay. All right. Well, that's it for me, guys. I would love to know what your opinion is. And so if you like to leave a suggestion or tell a story or give an opinion of your own, leave them in the comments below. Please always give the video a liker and subscribe. And if it's your first time here, hey. All right. And of course, share. All right. But in the meantime and in the between time, keep the shadows at your feet and forever out of your heart. I loves you. I appreciate you. Laters.